Hello, my name's Phil and I work for the Customer Services Department at the Hozelock head office in Birmingham. With over 50 years horticultural expertise, we at Hozelock understand the rewards of gardening and want to help you get the best from your garden. Before we proceed with the changing of the bulb, you'll notice that I'm wearing protective gloves. This is because parts of the filter have come into contact with pond water, so you need to make sure that you don't contaminate yourself by coming into contact with anything that may be in your pond. For doing this particular job, you'll need a Phillips or posi drive screwdriver and a small amount of silicone, not petroleum jelly, silicone grease, which is obtainable from most DIY shops. So to get at the bulb, we need to remove the 7 clips out of the way by just pulling them backwards like that till they're clear of the head. When they're all out of the way, we can then pull the head off and lift it clear of the bottom part of the Bioforce. To remove the bulb, we first need to remove this white vortex moulding. We do that by removing the single self-tapping screw that secures it. So we just undo that screw using a posi drive screwdriver. So with the securing screw removed from the vortex, we can now take the vortex off. We do that by rotating it slightly less than 90 degrees anti-clockwise. It will then be unlocked and we can take it off and put it away. It will then reveal the quartz tube with the bulb inside. So obviously we need to get the bulb out. So to do that, we need to remove the quartz tube. We do that by removing the security screw here. With the screw removed, we can then again twist the quartz tube and the holder anti-clockwise, slightly less than 90 degrees. Once we've done that and it won't go any further, we can then pull it off and again place it to one side. It then reveals the bulb, which we can then pull out of the bulb holder. It's just a pull fit. So I'm using some tissue just to protect my fingers and pulling the bulb out and putting it to one side because we're going to replace it with a new bulb. So we're now going to refit a new bulb into the Bioforce. I've taken it slightly out of the box, but I'm using the box to protect both the bulb and my fingers, as you shouldn't touch the bulb with your fingers. So we're going to refit the bulb into the bulb holder. The 2 brass terminals on the bottom here are going to locate in these 2 holes in the bulb holder that you can see there. So when the bulb's fitted, it just pushes into the bulb holder and it snaps home like that. We can then refit the quartz tube back onto the Bioforce. When we refit it, this screw hole here is going to have to end up being directly above this screw hole in the body. We offer the quartz tube up and push it fully down so that it's lying flush with the bottom of the head. We can then rotate it so that the screw hole lines up with the screw hole in the quartz tube holder. We can then refit the self-tapping screw that secures it, and when you do this you may have to just slightly turn the quartz tube holder to line the holes up exactly. So that's the quartz tube refitted back to the bottom of the Bioforce head. We're now going to refit the vortex assembly, and again that's basically a reversal of the way we took it off. We offer it up so that the 4 slots in the head here accept the 4 tags on the bottom of the vortex, and so that the hole lines up back with the hole in the head when it's fitted. So that locks into place, just like fitting a light bulb really. And then again, the securing screw is fitted to the head to secure it in place. So before we fit the head back onto the bottom of the Bioforce, we need to make sure that the sealing O-ring is fitted. To make fitting the O-ring easier and so it doesn't fall out of position, I'm going to give it a light coating of silicone grease, and we use silicone grease. We don't recommend you use petroleum jelly. Silicone grease is far better. And just smear this over the O-ring like so. This just stops the O-ring moving while you're assembling the head back onto the body. We then fit the O-ring along the bottom edge of this part of the moulding that sticks up here. So it just fits along the bottom edge of that. Like so. We can then fit this back to the base of the Bioforce and clip it in place. You're going to put the foams with the corrugated side upwards and just push those into the top of the body like that. The water pressure from the pump will push this to the bottom, so it doesn't matter where you position that at the moment. And then we're going to refit the head back onto the base of the Bioforce. Just make sure all the clips are still flicked fully back so they don't get in the way. And the vortex will go down the middle of the hole that's in the foams that you can see there. As you insert the head back on, the clips are obviously going to locate in these 7 gaps that are in the Bioforce head here. Give it a push to push the sealing O-ring back into place and make sure it seals. Visually look round to make sure there's no gaps between the head and the body, and then you know you're okay. You can then clip the 7 clips back into place. That's it, job done.